On the beautiful 4983, 12/11, 2006.
You say the word and I'll have my lawyer draw up the paperwork.
You really want this?
I'm offering you a lot of money to buy out your family's chain of boutiques.
Yes, and it's very tempting, no doubt, but,
Art, I've done my due diligence. I know it's been tough on the Harrison clan since your old man passed away. Your sisters, they both want their share of the pie, but it's all stuck in the family business. Of course, your personal issues you're going through right now with your divorce, your hands are full, but still you're doing all the legwork, flying around, meeting with people like me and the Forsters, when we both know you'd really rather be doing what you really love, driving those cars.
you know my guilty pleasure.
You can buy a lot of Formula Ones with that kind of dough, but my offer won't stand the table for long.
Give me 24 hours. 48 tops. I'll have you an answer by then.
Make sure it's the answer I want.
In my day, they'd say, a penny for your thoughts. I realize that's not very profound, but neither am I, I'm afraid.
No, Pam, I think you're a very wise woman. Not to mention a stunning chief cook and bottle washer.
Well, I've had plenty of practice. Cooking and taking care of Mother all these years. It's really all I know. Unlike my sister, who's so worldly and sophisticated. And anxious to speak with you.
Look, if you're referring to the phone message that she left for you earlier, I don't think she really
knows
should.
you're still angry with her, Eric. You're not going to call her back tonight, are you?
I have a design I need to wrap up before I go to sleep.
Of course. You go ahead. I'll just take care of the dishes and maybe I'll throw together a little Douglas family French toast for breakfast.
Good. No.
And to think Stephanie thought that mousy little sister of hers could keep me away from Eric. Pam's freshly baked cookies. I have something much more appetizing for you, darling.
Hey, I can't believe you're still here. I thought you'd be long gone by now.
Bridget, hey. What's up?
How are you? How are things with Allie?
Actually, they're better. She still hasn't completely come around, but
But you're hopeful.
yeah, I really think she's starting to understand.
Good.
Meanwhile, though, it's frustrating, It just feels like everything is up in the air and that it may be that way for a while,
Yeah.
Listen, Ridge seems to think that Nick has set his sights on Taylor. It's ridiculous, huh? Well, I wouldn't mention except I know that you were married to the guy and I assume you stay in touch with him. Has Nick mentioned anything to you about Taylor?
You said you spent the afternoon with Nick.
That doesn't mean there's anything going on between us.
Mom, I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. I'm just trying to understand what's going on.
Phoebe, there's nothing to understand. I mean, I'm engaged to Thorne. We would have been married by now if Allie hadn't found out about Darla.
I know. It's just Nick has hurt our family so much. I mean, he took Grandpa's company. If you were treating him, it would be one thing, but you're not anymore, right?
Okay, all right. You know, I understand through your eyes it looks like Nick is the bad guy here. But Stephanie and your father and Thorne all used Jackie's past against her in public. I mean, their record isn't exactly squeaky clean here. And I'm not taking pleasure in telling you this, but you're not a child anymore, and not everything is in black and white.
Right. Meaning?
Meaning that you can love someone the way I love Thorne and your father and Stephanie and still not agree with everything they do. As for Nick...
Finish your sentence, Mom. As for Nick, what?
I'm ready for you, my darling.
I'm on my way back to L.A. No, there's no deal on the table yet, but there's gonna be, so draw up the paperwork. I want everything ready to go the minute I hear back from Harrison. Right.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, we did have a conversation.
And?
And Taylor was very much on Nick's mind, but I don't think it was what Bridge is thinking. I just think that Nick is grateful to Taylor because she's helped him through some, issues he's had in his past, like dealing with my mom,
Which is exactly what I thought. Excuse me. Yeah. Putting through. Kurt, hang on one second. I gotta take this, but only be a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. Let's start with the Congress cloth. White. Light blue. Eggshell. Do a moss green as well on that. I want to try that color. And let's go to Congress cloth.
Phoebe, I don't really know what you're asking me, but I don't like your tone.
I'm sorry. There's so much going on with our family right now. With getting Forrester Originals off the ground. If there's ever a time we all need to pull together, it's now.
And because I don't treat Nick like a criminal, I'm being disloyal?
Well, that's not what I think.
Well, good. Because that's the way I taught you to think, to be an independent thinker, to express your own opinions no matter what the family says. Sweetheart, Nick and I shared some very intense feelings. That's what happens in therapy when a patient sits there and talks about memories and painful things from their past. That's what happens. And maybe that's why I see Nick a little bit differently than the rest of you do. I've seen him face some very ugly circumstances, and he's done that with a lot of strength and a lot of courage, and that's what I respect him for.
So, you're still saying that you're just friends?
Yes, we're good friends, and I intend to stay friends with him. I don't care what this family has to say about it.
Hi.
Nick, I wasn't expecting you.
Hello. Sorry, is this a bad time?
I think Phoebe and I are done. So what brings you by?
Actually, it's an errand of mercy. You left your sunglasses at Chuck's.
Thank you. What is that?
Oh, the wedding gift I got for you that accidentally fell out of the dressmaker's hand. Glass is broken.
It's a picture of our family. You're giving me a picture of this family, even though you don't approve of me marrying Thorne. Why would you do that?
Jackie.
Hello, Eric. Just in time. Champagne.
I'm almost afraid to ask. What are we drinking to?
Oh. Well, the debut of Forrester Originals, of course.
So it's a toast to the competition?
Darling, just because we're rivals on the runway doesn't mean we can't be friendly elsewhere. Why don't you join me?
Do you know how long it's been since I've even contemplated a bubble bath?
Well, I think now would be an excellent time to get reacquainted with, well, its joys.
Well, it certainly would. How did you get up here, anyway?
Ah, you mean past your faithful guard dog?
We don't have a guard dog.
I know. But you do have a sister-in-law. Actually, she's more like a mouse than a pit bull.
So you just sneaked past Pamela while she was in the kitchen, didn't you?
It's bad of me, I know. Why don't you get in, and I'll show you just how bad I can be.
Jackie. It is so tempting.
Mm-hmm.
But as tempting as it is, I am still a married man.
You're married to a woman that doesn't have a sexual bone in her body.
Yes, yeah. Yes, Vaughn, what is it? Yeah, of course you can. Now is a good time. Just fax them to me. I'll get back to you in the morning. I have to go over some figures.
Well, why don't you go over my figure first? It would be a lot more stimulating.
Yeah. Jackie. I'm gonna walk away. While I still can.
We'll be here waiting. Oh, yeah.
I brought this by on your wedding day.
I guess, I was so upset it didn't even register.
We had a lot going on, especially with Allie.
Yeah, she's doing better now, thanks to Thorne.
Well, he's a good dad, and you love him for that. Still, it's no reason to marry the guy. I'm sorry, I feel stronger about this than I did before.
I know, because of what happened with Allie.
Because of a lot of things.
So, this is your way of supporting me? Saying that you support me whether or not you agree with what I'm doing?
Well, when someone changes your life, so to speak, part of you really wants to protect them. But you know, if this is where you see your life heading, and I can't talk you out of it, just know that if you ever need a life preserver, I'll be there to toss you one.
Oh, Eric, I'm so glad you're back.
I've read about people like you. I just never expected to meet one quite so brazen. Stephanie warned me, and obviously she was right. You're a tramp. You break into someone's home, strip naked, and lie in wait to seduce another woman's husband. Get out of the tub right now and get dressed before Eric gets back here.
What the bloody hell do you think you're doing?
Exactly what my sister would expect me to. You had me pegged as a pushover, didn't you? Maybe sometimes I am, but not always. And not tonight.
Excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Bridget, hi.
Hi. How long has this been going on?
How long has what been going on?
What I just walked in on, the two of you in each other's
No,
arms.
Bridget, no, that was not.
She was
what
thanking me for something.
I was thanking you.
Yes.
For what? For taking the company away from us? Twice?
Bridget.
Nick, please don't stand there and pretend that you just weren't holding her.
I think you may be jumping to conclusions here.
Well, I have eyes and I'm not stupid.
Well, maybe you should just listen for a minute. You know how much she's done for me. I thought that you understood that.
I do understand. I understand that she helped you out in a traumatic situation.
Well, then if you understood that, maybe you would understand how grateful I am to her for that.
Well, you should be. But she's about to marry Thorne, and grateful or not, I don't know that she should be embracing you, not like this, alone, the two of you, in her home.
Okay, stop. You're totally misreading this whole thing. We're friends. That was a hug of gratitude.
Is that what Thorne would think if he walked in on you?
Well, I know he wouldn't be overreacting the way you are.
That's what I'm doing. I'm overreacting. Because your actions are always of the purest, right? At least that's what you wanted everyone to think for so long. I grew up thinking that. But you fell off your pedestal when you were drinking and driving, killed Darla, and then lied about it.
Bridget.
You'd be in prison if Thorne hadn't defended you to the jury. You know that. You took his wife, Taylor, and somehow he found it in his heart to not only forgive you, but to try and make you a part of his life. And then look at you. Look what you're doing. You're embracing Nick behind his back. My God, what kind of woman would do that? What the hell has happened to you?